This afternoon, it's important to remember the news coming in tomorrow for the economy. We've got the CPI coming out. We've got the Fed FOMC meeting minutes. Let's also look at some of the plays we've been talking about here because today was such an exciting day for some of those. So tomorrow, Wednesday, April 10th, we have core CPI coming out and CPI year over year coming out. We've also got Fed Governor Michelle Bowman coming out to talk. We've got Goolsbee coming out to talk. Bowman is a hawk, Goolsbee is a dove. So we got a hawk and a dove on deck tomorrow to take the mic and wield that weapon of the Fed. Their third weapon, their little known tool, the microphone that they used all last week to absolutely batter us in the market. We also have the Fed minutes and the federal budget coming out all tomorrow. So those are huge pieces of news. And then we've got two Feds on the mic to disrupt any potential good news that's coming out to keep the market in check from going too parabolic or dumping too hard based on the information that comes out tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be absolutely exciting, and stocks are positioned on many different levels of resistance or support from today, just waiting for tomorrow to either explode or to drop. Then we've got Thursday. On Thursday, we've got core PPI, we've got initial jobs claims, or jobless claims, sorry, unemployment, if I could speak, I'm sorry. We've got unemployment information, we've got core PPI, and then we've got four different Feds speaking tomorrow. And then Friday, we've got two more Feds on deck talking. So they are wielding the microphone once again this week, trying to beat down the market, keep it from getting too out of control and away from their projections here this week, just like last week. But let's look at some charts. One that was really interesting to me today was NVIDIA. Look at the close that we got. Look at the close that we got. We closed under 860. Just like I said, this is the confirmation I was looking for. Now, we came all the way down to 830, so close to filling this gap at 823. We're getting there. We went right to the bottom of my descending channel and then bounced off of it. And we started at near the top of it today for my channel. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow, if CPI is like just meh, or is even kind of okay, I wouldn't be surprised if we came back to 860, maybe even tested 880 tomorrow. And then once the Feds get on the mic, we see this thing drop down to that 823 or perhaps even down to that $800 level. Let's go ahead and put that down on there. I'm going to put 800 on the chart. I am looking at for 823 more than I'm looking for 800, but I think if the Feds are feeling spirited enough, we might see this thing actually come all the way down to 800 possibly tomorrow. That's what I'm looking for NVIDIA. Now, this does not mean that I am moving on this stock. Remember that this is not financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Now, looking at NVIDIA, I am not in this yet. I'm still waiting. I want to see what happens tomorrow. I want to see what CPI is. Is CPI going to drag the stock up? And then I'll wait. I will wait. Specifically, I'll be waiting for Bowman to start speaking at 8:45. So that's actually before market open. So I'll be waiting to see what happens, what the market does in response to that speaker specifically. Going into the market, she might come out to absolutely beat this thing down tomorrow, and we'll see if that happens in the pre-market on NVIDIA. And if it is down, if it opens up somewhere down here below where our close was today, I think I might be looking for a very short-term put down to $800 over the next couple of weeks or till the end of April, perhaps. I'll be looking at that for NVIDIA, so that's something important to watch out. Tesla is looking like it's doing okay. That 860 range was quite the support level we got in here. I actually played this to the upside on a call this morning. I didn't make a ton of money. I usually don't put a lot of money into my options because I don't like losing money. I'm not particularly great at the intraday trading yet, but I am slowly getting better at this thing. And when I am feeling super confident in my skills here on the day trading, I will be bringing them to the channel, just not yet. I'm still building them up. I'm still working with smaller positions and trying to get as consistent as possible on this. I'm starting to make more wins, but we are, it's a skill and I'm working on it still. So anyways, Tesla is moving up. Now, will they hold? I don't know. I'm thinking this level here, right around this 180 level. That's actually holding as pretty decent resistance right now. I think we might get compressed one more time, especially since Elon came out with the robo-taxi news, and that really didn't send us flying high. We We've got this week, let's look at the weekly. This week so far, we're up 7%, which is where we've been for the last month. So we really didn't get much. We didn't really get much of an engulfing return. I mean, a little bit. We are slightly above where we were last week in terms of getting up from that candle, up and above that candle. I mean, we're up 7% from last week, but where that candle body ended for last week, we're barely above it. We didn't get like a stratospheric launch from that news on the robotaxis, but this is still looking like a bear flag. This is still forming a bear flag, much like this bear flag back here that happened in January up until February. We are still building a bit of a bear flag, and we could see one more leg down, which would be smaller than the previous leg. If you look, so this leg here from December until January, how big was that one? That one was 31%, okay? And then from February into March, that one was another 19%. Okay, so 30% to 19%. So this one could be, let's see, 10%. Let's go from, where would it be? About right here. That could be a 20%. No, let's do it from the bottom of the thing to this one. Yeah, about a 10%. So it's like, so we got 30%, then 20%, and then if we got another 10% drop, that would take us down to this 145 level on Tesla. I am still looking for that as a potential bottom for this stock right now. Currently, we are in a bit of an upswing coming off of our lows, coming off of the bottom. We are still underneath the 50 RSI on the weekly, and it is not showing tons of strength yet, but it is building back. If we look on the daily, we did move up today on lower volume, so that is not a great sign. It does not show strength, but what we really want to see is one big engulfing candle going up and above this midsection right here at 183, 184. We want to see that, and then we want to see it hold there for 2-3 days, and then that's confirmation that we're probably going back to 200. Right now, what we're seeing is kind of a weak attempt at taking that level, and we could get rejected, sent back down to 160, and if 160 does not hold, we're coming back down to 145 on Tesla. So let's take a look at, not Square, I almost said Square, Block. Let's take a look at Block today. We went up to 180. I also made a little bit of money day trading this one today to the upside. I saw a couple of, you can see my little thing right there. I saw some bull flags that I jumped in on this one and made like maybe $15 or something. It wasn't a lot. I'm keeping my positions small. Like I said, it's a skill that I'm still building, and I'm slowly getting more and more confident with it, and slowly, making more wins than losses on it. So it's a work in progress on that one, on my day trading. So with Square, it is kind of doing what I was expecting. It came all the way down to 172. I was hoping it'd go a little further, and now it's coming up to 180. Now, this is an area of resistance right here, 180. We could, if CPI is not great, or if the Fed is extra hawkish tomorrow, this could be the line of resistance, sending us right back down to like 273, potentially even lower. I do think that we need to stay above $77 on Block in order to hold this area here and have this become a bull flag that takes us up to the 80s and 90s. But if this $77 range here doesn't hold, we'd be coming back down to the low 70s, possibly high 60s on Block. Let's take a look at the SMAs. Okay, so yeah, right up here, even if CPI comes in good, unless it comes in great, $80 is going to stop us with the 20-day moving average. Actually, it might be the 15. Let me look what I've got on it on right now. It's on the 15. So let me change that to 20 actually for now, because there's a different types of stock in the miners. Yeah, it's the same place. So $81 is like the highest we're going to go before we run into some pretty significant resistance, unless CPI is excellent, unless the Fed does not absolutely use that microphone to beat us with over the next couple of days. If those two things hold true, then yes, we could potentially get over 81. But even if CPI is good, if the Fed comes out with a motive to take this market down, then we're likely not to defeat that 20-day moving average, and we might find ourselves closer to the 5-day moving average, continuing to flag, or potentially moving down below it to the 77 or lower level on Block. But I've got this line here. This is the halving. After this, I think Block takes off. Of course, this is not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. That is an opinion, and an opinion based on their Bitcoin holdings, which they will benefit from, similar to MicroStrategy, in that they have almost 10,000, like 9,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet that they are currently not benefiting from. But once the halving comes in and Bitcoin breaks out big time to the upside, we'll start seeing Block benefit from that Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Let's take a look at what happened with SoFi today. SoFi was also very interesting today. I know I've got a lot of drawings on this one, but SoFi is confirming that inverse head and shoulders right here. Let me turn that off. So we got a bit of a confirmation. If we hold above this line tomorrow, like if we do not come back to backtest this green line here tomorrow, I am going to feel fairly confident about this inverse head and shoulders I've been talking about on SoFi that could take us up to 856, potentially all the way up to $9 on this inverse head and shoulders. And then if you can't see it, I'll point it out again right here. There's the left shoulder, there's the head, here is the right shoulder. We need to stay above. Tomorrow we need to stay above $7.65 without touching $7.65, not even wicking to it, in order to confirm that we are in fact going to try to move up towards that $8.50 to $9 level on SoFi. If that fails, or if CPI comes in poor, or if the Fed decides that this market rally is over and they will say anything they need to say on that microphone to tame the market, any of those things happen. This gets frustrated. It comes back down to $7.29 again, maybe even down to $7 or into the $6 range if either of those things happen. But if the Fed can't contain it, if CPI comes in decent or good, we could confirm this inverse head and shoulders on SoFi and drag ourselves up towards that $9 level on that. So that is the plays. Actually, there's one more. Palantir. I haven't talked about Palantir in a while. Palantir is actually very interesting right now. Palantir is making a big old head and shoulders, like a big one. Look right here. We got the left shoulder in February. We got the head in March. And right now, right here, we've got in late March, early April here, we got the right shoulder. There it is. And right now, right in this area, we are making a bear flag. Look at that bear flag. Man, plenty of circles around that bad boy. Once that thing breaks, if it breaks the midline on this ascending channel here, if price breaks that, we are coming down to $20 on Palantir. Okay, if we come down to $20 and we do not stop and start to bounce on Palantir, we are looking at coming down to about 1838 on Palantir. And eventually, if that does not hold us, we're coming down to about $16 on Palantir. This is a big, ugly head and shoulders. We are below the neckline well, we went below the neckline. We're actually dancing on the neckline right now. I would call this ascending channel, the midline, the blue line there, the dash one. I would call that the neckline right now on that, off of this bear flag that we are currently forming on Palantir, and that could break down to $20 or lower. Personally, I'm not too concerned about that. I have a few hundred shares of Palantir. I have been selling calls off of them, so I've been generating income off of the shares. So, I mean, come on down. Let me pick up some more. Let me take that premium and actually purchase more shares than I intended to purchase with that premium of Palantir. I'm fine with that. Keep doing it, or don't, or go up. I don't care. So that's Palantir. Palantir is looking prime for a drop for me to scoop up and buy it. And of course, this is not financial advice, not a suggestion of advice that I hold any assets whatsoever. It's simply the charts and my opinion of them. Let's take a look at CleanSpark real quick. This is how we're going to end the day today. We're going to look at CleanSpark and Bitfarms. CleanSpark held $15 today. This was crucial for it to hold $15. Now, we didn't get a volume bar up and above yesterday's red volume bar, so that is a little concerning. Tomorrow, we do need to see volume come through on this stock. We did get a bottom signal on the VIX fix, and we are at oversold, just barely at oversold conditions on the RSI. So there is a chance that if tomorrow we get a green volume bar above today's green volume bar, that we could be pulling out of this, but I wouldn't be calling it yet. This is a very tense moment. We are doing a tightrope walk with CleanSpark right now. We are looking at either coming back up to like $18, $20 or falling down to $13, potentially even $11 on CleanSpark. So this is actually a pretty precarious spot that is quite tense. Now, if you've got a long time horizon, it's not really too concerning, because if you're willing to hold until, December of this year or of next year, my belief is that CleanSpark's probably going to do quite well in that period of time. But short term, we could be seeing some significant weakness on CleanSpark. And then Bitfarms, we're going to close it out with Bitfarms here. Bitfarms is below $2. So just like I said, it came below $2. It's hanging out. It went to 194. It's hanging out at 197 right now. Until they announce their new CEO, we are going to continue to see weakness in this stock, because there is uncertainty about its future, because we don't know who's going to be leading it. We know who is currently leading it, but we know that that person is on their way out, and they don't know who is going to fill that person's shoes. And until we know that, until we get clarity, we are going to see weakness on this stock. We are going to see people fleeing this stock. So we really need them to hurry up and find their CEO and find a good one and start executing on developing that hash rate, and we will see this thing rebound once those things happen. That's the update for today. Tomorrow is going to be absolutely nuts with all of the news and the Fed's on deck, and where all these stocks are sitting either on support or resistance, looking like they're just primed to either break out or break down. It's quite the invigorating day, I think. So I'll be back bright and early to report on the CPI and see especially what NVIDIA is doing. I'm very interested in what NVIDIA is going to be doing tomorrow. So with that said, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.